Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are excited. We are on day 2 of our 21 days of prayer journaling with your girl, Evangelist Nicole. I am so excited again. I hope you enjoyed day 1 as much as I enjoyed preparing for you. I'm excited. We won't be before you long tonight because we'll be going for 21 days. And so I don't want to bore you, but I want to give you what we need just to get through our 21 days. The first night was a little long because I wanted to give you more in-depth explanation of where the journal come from and how it came to life. So again, I want to thank everyone who joined in and watched. I appreciate you. For those who were asking, the book is available on Amazon, on Target.com, Walmart.com, or you can purchase it through our website at www.mlpministries.com. If you order it through our website, you can get a signed copy for myself and I'll mail it out to you. If you order it on those sites, I can sign it once I see you. I can sign it. But again, it is available now. You can purchase it now on Amazon, Target, Walmart, and our website, www.mlpministries.com. And you can click on shop and you'll find us there. You'll find the book there. Again, this is Women with Divine Purpose prayer journal that the Lord gave me to publish, to self-publish, and to share with the world. This is, I wrote this and I did it in honor of my mom. I always, everything that I do is a direct reflection of what she taught me, the key values of praying. And as I stated in day 1, one of the things is I used to write out all my prayers, and I still do. I had notes everywhere, and I began to write it out in different patterns, what I was asking the Lord for, what I needed him to forgive me for, the things that I needed him to help me with forgiveness. And I was also writing out the people and situations that I was praying for. And then I was writing out our prayer requests for people who were asking me for prayer. I would write those out just so I can go back to them and see what God was doing on their behalf. One of the key things that I am super excited about is with the prayer journal is that you can write it down. One of the things I say all the time, I said you can write it down. You can write it down and you can go back, that even if it does not happen now, you can go back and say, I prayed for this, and you can go back and check it off. So I always think that it's a good thing to write down the prayers and write down the dates that you prayed these things. So because sometimes we ask God for things that we are not really intentional about. We just asked because it's the right thing to do, or that's what we've been taught to do. But in this time, we want to be intentional that we ask God for things, and with the expectation for him to do what we need him to do. So that's what this prayer journal is about. So again, we are on day 2 of our prayer journaling experience. And I hope that you all are enjoying what God has given me during this time. So today, I just want to give you another scripture, again, out of our prayer journal. It's Philippians 4, chapter 4, verse 6. And all of the scriptures are prayer-based. They are prayer-focused. So these are prayer focuses so that you'll have something to refer to when you're praying and what you're writing. Again, as I stated last night, everyone don't pray the same. You don't write the same. You don't sound the same. You don't say the same things. So don't feel like you have to say it in a certain manner when you write in your journal. This is between you and God, and this is so that you can watch what he's doing for you, because guess what? He is ready to blow your mind, but you have to be in great expectation for him to do do it. You have to be have the mindset to believe what it is that you're asking him, that you deserve what he's about to do for you, because he wants you to believe it. He wants you to believe that he can do the impossible thing. So again, here is our scripture for tonight, and we're, again, like I said, we're not going to be before you long, but I want to give you this. It's Philippians chapter 4, verse 6, and it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." Again, these are prayer topic script verses. And in this particular scripture that I'll be talking about tonight, the Lord was giving me. He says, "I don't want you to stress about anything." So that at the beginning of that verse, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything." He says, "Don't stress out about it. Just pray." He says, "Don't worry about it. Just pray." Don't be anxious about it. Don't listen. And when you look up the word anxious, it means uneasiness. Don't have an uneasiness about the things that's going on. Whatever your problem is, don't be uneasy about it, because you're giving it to the one who is able to do it, who is able to fix it, who is able to make it happen for you. So don't be uneasy about it. It says that there is an unrest or fear about something. It says great worry. But this verse says, don't be anxious. Don't worry about anything. It says to be eager. Don't be so overly excited or overly anxious about it, because when you're overly eager, it causes you to have different types of anxiety, that you would lose your focus on who is able to do it or who you're praying to, that you so focus on looking at what it is that you're praying about. We'll get into that too. And it says to be anxious means to be nervous. Don't be nervous about it. Like, I know what I'm saying. It seems easy, but the more you do it, the more you make your request known unto God, the more you pray unto him, he'll give you peace that surpasses all understanding. He'll cause your heart to be overjoyed, knowing that, listen, it's not looking good right now, but I know that it's going to be fine. I know that it is well, because me handling it is not working. So I got to give it to the one who is able to handle it. And then as I was studying, I was saying, Lord, what is it that you would have me to share with your people regarding not being anxious, but in everything by prayer and supplication, make it with thanksgiving in our hearts. Let our requests be known. What is it that you would have me to say to your people even in this moment? And he says your problem is not bigger than me. Sometimes we feel like what it is that we're praying for, and this is where we'll use the spaces in our prayer time. We'll be writing out what those problems are, but you're writing them not so that you'll remind yourself how big the problem is, but you're writing it out so you'll know that you are giving it to someone who is bigger than the problem. God says that I'm bigger than whatever that situation is. Sometimes we're so focused on what that problem is, whatever it is that you're worried about, whatever your concern is, whatever your need is. You're so focused on that need or that problem that you stop focusing on the answer to that problem. God, I want you to hear it again. He says, sometimes you're so focused on the problem or that need that you forget about who is bigger than that problem or that need. You can't focus on those things. But here I'm urging you to write it out, because sometimes I think that when because we are so worried about it, we're thinking about it so much, we feel like the more we think about it, the easier it's going to be. But for me, I believe that if you write out what it is that you're praying, write out what it is that you're in need of. Write out what it is that you need God to do for you. Write it out in your journal. You journal those prayers out with him. For me, it seems like a burden gets lifted because no longer it's in my hand. I've already written it out. I've spoken it. I've declared it. And now I've given it over to him so that he can do it. This passage of scripture is so in the Christian faith, we use it all the time, but sometimes we don't apply it like we need to apply it. So here we're going to be intentional about applying it in our daily prayer or in our prayer life, as we're increasing in our prayer with God, as we're submitting our concerns unto him, as we're listen. I was looking at this word supplication. And I thought that this would be something good to remind you tonight. Supplication means it means that it's a humble petition. It means that it's a respectful request. And you only do that when you're giving it to someone of great honor. So I give a humble submission or petition to God because he is a great source. He is a high source. He has high authority. He already know my problem. He already know what's going on. He already know what I'm seeking. So because of that, I have to come humbly to him because of who he is, because he is our sovereign God. He is a great God. He is a way maker. He is our healer because he is our all in all. He is the one that provides for us. I humbly submit to him my request. I don't go to him with the thoughts or of that. I know that you have to do this for me. No, I fully understand that I don't deserve some of the things that I'm asking him to do. I fully understand that. I fully understand that I have not obeyed him in the way that I need to obey him. So that's why here in the prayer journal, there's a spot where you can ask him for forgiveness. God, forgive me for not being obedient in this moment. For those times when I heard you clearly, I heard what the prophet said, I heard what the pastor said, I even read the scripture, I know what your word says, and I was not obedient to what it is that you would have me to obey you in that moment. But God says that here, I am so just to forgive you. I'm going to do that for you. Listen, he is your healer. He is your redeemer. He is your provider. That means that everything that you need, he'll provide for you. He's going to give you the desires of your heart. That is scripture. That's what he said. He says, you can ask me for a thing and I'll answer you. And here in this particular passage, it says by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. So we can't just be asking him for things and then don't thank him in advance. We got to start thanking God, thanking you. God, I thank you that you forgive me. I thank you that you are a loving and kind God. I thank you that you are just and you are mighty. I thank you that you are my redeemer. I thank you that you are my healer. I thank you that you are my protector. I thank you that you are the one you are the one that chose me. I didn't choose you, but you chose me. I didn't have enough sense to choose you. But you chasing after me because you chose me. Thank you. Thank you for not forgetting about me when I was in my mess or in my sin, when I was full of myself. Thank you. Here it is. In the prayer journal, it has a place where it says things that I'm grateful for. Again, this is where you highlight those things that are constant reminders of the things that God has already done. Because we're so busy asking him for more and more and more, but we tend to forget to be grateful for the small things that he's already done. God, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that you keep on making a way for me. I'm so grateful, God, that you are still a healer. You haven't changed. You're just like you did with the woman with the issue of blood. You're still healing us. You're still protecting us. Oh God, I thank you that even like you did with the children of Israel, you brought them out of captivity. God, you're still pulling us out. I'm grateful for that, God. Even when we're not deserving of it, you still do it for us. Thank you. We thank you for that. Again, then I'm praying for the people that are on, the people in situation, the things that I need them to do on behalf of the people that's in my life. God, there are things that I need you to do, so I need to remind you every day. He says, don't be anxious about it. Pray about it. God, I'm not going to be anxious. That means I'm not going to be worried about things being taken care of. I'm not going to be worried about it. I'm not going to be laying up all night. I'm not going to stress about it. Listen, my blood pressure, it has to stay at a certain level, so I can't be worried. I got to give it to God. Listen, and this is one thing that I found out, that once you begin to give it to God, once you begin to give it to him, you have peace. There is such a peace that comes upon you when you give it to God. Listen, not just talk, not just pray it or write it out and then you still worrying about it. But when you fully give it to him, there is a peace that surpasses all understanding. God says that, he says, the peace of God, will guard your heart and your mind. Listen, the peace of God, the peace of God, the peace of God will guard your heart and your mind. That means I can't worry because I'm at peace with it. I can't worry about a situation because I'm at peace with it. I can no longer be worried because the peace of God, it guards me. And when it guards me, that means it protects me. It protects every move that I make. It protects me that even when my flesh wants to rear up and take charge about a thing because it's not happening like I want it to happen, but his peace will guard me. The guard will say, no, you can't move now. No, you got to stay in this place. No, you got to thank God now. No, you got to understand that it's his timing and not your timing. No, the peace will guard my mind. No, I'm not going to lose my mind today. No, I'm not going to be so stressed out and worried that it's going to cause me to be unfocused on him and focus on the thing. Listen, no longer can we be focused on the thing. We got to focus on God, even in these moments. And again, like I said yesterday, there is a portion where you get to those quiet moments after I've given him everything. After I'm no longer focused on the thing that I'm in need of or the people that I've been praying for. No longer am I'm worried about redemption or forgiveness anymore because I've given it to God and I'm waiting for him to do what I need him to do in this very moment. Listen, no longer am I there, but I'm at a place where I'm saying, God, I thank you for what you're doing. I thank you for what you've already done. God, I appreciate you for even this moment, allowing me the chance to even get into your presence. So while I'm in your presence, God, what is it that you would have me to do? Because sometimes we'll be so busy worrying, so busy focusing in on the situation or the things that we don't wait for God to give us the instructions of what we are supposed to be doing in this moment. God requires of us to serve. So sometimes, even as we're sitting in quiet times, he'll give us instructions on how to serve in different situations. And know that serving does not mean that it takes away the problem, but what it does, it takes your mind off the problem. You need to get busy in the things of God because God is calling you into a place of servitude during this time. So this is what he's saying to me in this particular passage. He says, don't worry. Don't be anxious about anything. Don't worry about anything. Don't listen. Stop worrying about when things are going to happen and how it's going to happen. Stop worrying about your children. Stop worrying about your family members. Stop worrying about your bills. Stop worrying. Listen, we're worrying about too many things instead of giving it to God and knowing that he's going to do it. Sometimes we just got to take our hands off of it. Take our hands off of the situation and let him be God. Let him be God in whatever the situation is. Again, listen, like I said last night, I know it sounds easy. I know what I'm saying. Oh, that's Evangelist, you making it sound real easy in this time. But what I'm going through, you don't fully understand. No, I may not understand your exact thing, but I've been in the very place that some of you have sat in. I've sat in the place of worry, anxiety, or feeling like loss of hope, not knowing what to do. Listen, I've been so stressed out that my blood pressure was super high. I can remember probably about, it was in 2015 when I first started really having high blood pressure. And really, the thing was, I knew that there was a calling on my life, and I knew that God was calling me to a certain place because the enemy was attacking so strong and heavily. And when he began to attack, every time I would hear clearly what the Lord was saying, and every time I would go to say yes, the enemy would send this big attack, and I would take my focus off the yes, and I would focus on the thing that was in front of me. And that thing had my blood pressure so high that when I would go to the hospital, they thought I was having strokes. They was like, you should be dead or in a coma because of your pressure was so high. But God said that, listen, if you give it to me, you don't have to stress, you don't have to worry. So no, I may not know what you're fully going through. I may not know exactly your situation, but I know God is able to do it. He can change every situation in your life. Know that. I know that. I know he can do it because if he can do it for me, where I was, with the bad place that I was in. I know that if he was able to do it for me, I know that he's able to do it for you. Listen, this prayer journal is going to bless your entire life. It's going to bless your entire life because you're giving it to God. You're writing it out. You're telling him exactly what it is you're in need of. Listen, you don't have to listen, because some of these things that you're in need of, you don't want to tell other people. Some things you're embarrassed about. Listen, I've been there. You're ashamed about. I don't want to tell anybody else. I don't want them to really pray it, because guess what? They're going to know the real me. They're going to know the real struggle that I'm going through. So listen, if you got this prayer journal, you can write it out. You can write it out. You can make that request known unto God. You can write your petition and your supplication. You can humbly submit your request to God with the expectation that is going to happen. Listen, you're writing it out even when your flesh tells you you're not worthy of it coming to pass. You're going to write out your prayer request because you're saying, God, my flesh says that it can't happen. The enemy is trying to take over my mind, but I'm writing it because I'm in expectation of you doing it on my behalf. That's what I'm doing. I'm writing it out. And even in my quiet moments, I'm saying, God, here's how I'm feeling today. I feel unworthy. And I can hear God say right now to those who may even be saying that right now, I'm not worthy of the blessing that you're about to give. I'm not even worthy for the things that I desire for myself. But God says that in this moment, I want you to know, daughter and son, that you are worthy. And you are more than enough. You are valued. Listen, you are loved. Listen, I love you so much that I'm giving you an outlet. I'm giving you what you need to lift up your head right now, because I fully understand. God, he said, He is omnipresent. He is everywhere. He is omniscient. He knows all things. So he already knows that we're going to go through different things in our life. He already knows that we're going to be facing some different things or different trials in our life. And he says that, listen, daughter, listen, son, listen, I fully know it. And I need you to believe that I am Lord. I am your Redeemer. I am your way maker. I am your healer. I am your provider. I am the one that's going to give you peace that will guard your heart and your mind. I know you don't understand it. But God says that in this particular passage, Philippians 4:6, he says, do not be anxious about anything. But in everything, every situation, no matter big or small, I'm bigger than that. He says, I'm bigger than that. Stop focusing on that. Focus on me. Focus on me being your Lord. He says, and by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, that means get an excitement in your spirit. Get excited knowing that God, I'm giving him my petition. I'm humbly submitting to him. Listen, be excited, be thankful in giving your requests. You're giving it to God. You're giving it to the one who is bigger than anything, any situation, any circumstance. And know without a shadow of a doubt that he's going to do what you need him to do. Even in this moment, he's going to do it. Again, thank you all so much for joining us for day 2. We're only on day 2 of our prayer journaling with your girl, Evangelist Nicole Rogers. Again, the prayer journal is available on Amazon, Target.com, Walmart.com, Barnes & Noble, and our website, www.mlpministries.com. You can purchase it. It is available now. Again, I want to thank you. We have more days to come. Tomorrow is day 3, and I am so excited about journaling with you. I love you.